Hello there, it's me again. So this video is being recorded on Wednesday ahead of being released on Thursday because Thursday is my birthday. So happy birthday to me, and I really didn't want to have to distract myself from enjoying my birthday to do anything. So, better give you a bit of a rundown of what we've been up to. Last time I did a video, I'd just taken my exam for work and I was waiting for the results. The results came through a week earlier than I expected, and unexpectedly, I actually passed. The pass mark was something like 56.7%, and I got 64.29. So I've passed that. I don't need to study anymore. It's going to be fantastic. There was someone else at work who scored 92%, and they're looking into whether they've got the highest score in the country, but either way, it's a pass or fail. Doesn't really matter how much you pass by, or at least that's what I'm having to keep telling myself. So, as Hannah mentioned last week, we went to the London gaming market, which I didn't pick up anywhere near as much as Hannah picked up because, well, there's no real reason why, but I think I've mentioned that last year we were just kind of buying as much as we could without any real curation as to what we were adding, whereas I went in with the mindset of I was after one or two things. If I couldn't get those one or two things, I wouldn't get anything at all, and in the end I got a third thing instead. But one positive from that is it shows somewhere along the lines that the algorithm on YouTube is working at the moment, that we actually got found by someone who was a trader at the gaming market, and he was on the stall next to the one where Hannah bought the pom-pom game. So I'll put a link to his channel in the description and all of that gubbins. What else have I done? I'm having to look over there because I've made a little bit of half a script, so I make sure I go through everything that I need to go through, which is a novel idea for me. So as I've mentioned, it's my birthday. We're going to go on a little trip to Birmingham over the next couple of days, and the reason why we've picked to go to Birmingham is because I'm very good at entering competitions on Instagram without thinking about the practicalities of actually using the prize. And I entered one to do with a game shop in Yardley near Birmingham, where the shop is called GameSmart, and they asked for your favourite moment from any of the Ghostbusters films. And I picked "It's True, Sir, This Man Has No Dick," which cracks me up every time, ever since I read the novelisation of the first film, and I read it, and it completely bypassed me until I read the book. So the short version of the story is I won that competition, and I won a £15 voucher to use in their store. Unfortunately, I'm in Norfolk, the shop is in Birmingham, which is about a 3-hour drive. So I've managed to persuade Hannah that it would be a really good idea during the school holidays for us to take a small trip to Birmingham, book an Airbnb, and we'll stay there and fit in Cadbury's World. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm going to Game Shop, and knowing Hannah, we'll end up in a CEX somewhere so that she can look for Wii U games. So there's that. In terms of games that I've been playing, there's very little that I've actually been playing. I've made a start on the Simpsons game on the PS3 that I showed you in the last video I did, and I did a bit of a Google beforehand to find out how long it should take to complete the game, and it said about 8 hours. I'm about an hour and a half into it, and I'm convinced that it's actually a 2-hour game, just with really bad camera control and really shonky platforming. So that's not been great, but I want to complete it because, as I've said, I'm only allowed to buy games, even though I've failed that challenge. I'm only allowed to buy games once I complete a game, but I've already bought games on that list, but I'm not allowed to have them until I complete a game. So that's where I'm heading. And I also have played some of the game that made me fail the challenge, which is Back to the Future on the PS4, which is not how I remember it. But again, I'm going to persevere with it and move on from there. So, with that in mind, I think it's time to go through the pickups from the London gaming market. And also, given that most of them are to do with gaming or collections and stuff, I'm going to go through the lovely presents that my family have got me for my birthday, and also my pickups from the London gaming market. So, London gaming market first. First thing I bought was this book called Gamebook, and I'll do that so you can see it properly. It's written by a guy called Paul Murphy. I think it's Paul Murphy. I'm pretty sure it's Paul Murphy. It is Paul Murphy. And he was talking to him, and he said that he used to work as a teaching assistant. And while he was doing that, he bought every amiibo there was. And then to be able to justify those purchases to his family, he wrote a book about all of the amiibos and published it, having made the money through Kickstarter. And he made more through that than he did through being a teaching assistant. So he then did another one to write that book, which is all about the history of the original Game Boy and the games, because that's the console that's closest to his heart. And so I bought the book, and I've not actually got round to starting it yet, so I'll have to let you know how it is. But he's also currently writing one to do with the Game Boy Color. So again, I'll probably put a link to his site down below, and you can take a look and see what you think. And he's really a lovely bloke. Right, the other things that I bought to do with the gaming market, and it's not actually much for the gaming market because I've just realised I've picked up a few other things as well. I've picked up Super Off-Road for the Master System. It's one of those things, I'm not a big fan of racing games, but one that I do remember fondly playing is Super Off-Road. But for some reason, it's quite common and cheap to pick up on any console other than the Master System. I spent £70 on this, which is probably the most I've spent on a single retro game ever. But I'm desperate to play this again in the way that I played it before. So that's why I need to get on with finishing The Simpsons. As I say, it's fairly readily available in general. It's a lovely racing game. Please have a go at it if you get the chance. While we were at the London Gaming Market, I had an eBay notification come through, tell me I'd won an auction, but I don't remember bidding for this. But I've bought it anyway. And that is Diddy Kong Racing for the N64. Which, again, it's one that I had when I was younger. It's another racing game, actually. And I'm not a racing game person. In my eyes, Diddy Kong Racing wipes the floor with Mario Kart 64. If you disagree with me, tell me exactly why, because Diddy Kong Racing is the best kart racer there is in my eyes, even though I've probably played a lot more Mario Kart because of having consoles, not having consoles. But it's got a lot of good memories, and it has boss fight races. Come on, it's far, far, far superior. But again, that's one that was on my list, so I'm not allowed it until I've completed a game. So, beyond that, Hannah gave me a Mega Drive game to congratulate me for passing my exam, which is Mega Games 6, which, although in other formats I've got every game that's on here, I'd like to get as close to a complete Mega Drive collection as possible eventually. I think this takes me up to 96 or 97, which means I'm still nowhere close. I'm not going to get close, but at least I can carry on picking them up. And so that's another pickup, but that's one that I'm allowed to have, which is all good. What else have I picked up? Oh yeah. There's a Discord I'm in for the Unofficial Controller podcast. For reasons that I will explain later, I'll put a link to them later at the bottom, but I'll explain why later in the video. There's a guy in there called Fat Zangief, and he's set himself a challenge this year of picking things up in charity shops, trading them into CEX to get enough vouchers to buy himself an Xbox Series X, I think. It's either an Xbox Series X or it's a different model of Xbox. I don't remember. But he picked up Animal Crossing New Leaf for about £2, and I gave him the trade-in value in the form of a CEX voucher, which is what he wanted. So we both managed to get something that we wanted out of it, because I enjoyed the Animal Crossing that's on the Switch. It's the only one I've really played. But for some reason, I like the idea of Animal Crossing more than I play it. So that's a lovely one to put into the collection. So I am denied about doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway, because you know what? It's my video. I'm going to go through what my family have given me for my birthday, because they've let me have the presents early so that I can enjoy them on today while the children are at school, I'm off work, and I have the house to myself. So the first present is from my youngest son. I'm a big Blink-182 fan, and while Hannah is keen on the Tom DeLonge To the Stars t-shirts and merchandise, I like the Mark Hoppus Hi, My Name is Mark, and have wanted a t-shirt for ages. So my youngest child has bought me a Hi, My Name is Mark t-shirt, which I'm very happy with. It's really comfortable and feels really good quality, so that's a real positive, and I'm happy with that. So these will be in no particular order. My mother-in-law has got me some Stormtrooper beer with a glass. I've had Stormtrooper beer before for another birthday, and it was rather nice. So I'm happy with that, because I can't drink too much, so I like to make sure that on the occasions that I do drink, it's going to be something that I'm going to enjoy rather than drinking for the sake of it, like I may have done in my early 20s. So, carrying on with that drink theme, I feel an affinity with things from the Viking Age and stuff like that. And Hannah made me do a DNA test thing to find out my heritage. And I said, there's no point, because we're just going to find out that I'm 100% Norfolk. The results from it came back this week. I should have said this earlier, because I forgot to put it in my bloody script. And I've come back as like 72% Scandinavian or something. So loads of people have been telling me, clearly that's why you want to go to Denmark all the time. Probably is. But from getting into Viking stuff years ago, I've got into mead, and my mother has bought me some Elf Magic Vanilla Honey Mead, which I'm very much looking forward to. I'm trying to remember the name of the company. Have I got the gubbins over here? No, I do not. But I like the look of vanilla mead, because I like vanilla, I like mead. The two should go together quite nicely. Next on my pile, this is part of what one of my sons has given me, and the dog is barking, which makes me think the postman is here. So I'm going to pause this, come back to it in just a moment. Well, I'm not very good at editing, so that's just going to be a really jarring jump. It was the postman. It's all sorted. Let's get back to what I was doing. So, my second son, well, middle child, oldest son, this is part of what he's given me. He's given me Sewer Surfer Mike, because I may not have mentioned it in any of the videos. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's loads of things from that kind of era that I really love, Turtles is one of them, so I'm happy to have that. So I got the Samurai Leonardo for Christmas, so ooh, I'm out of breath all of a sudden. So that'll go nicely with him. What's next on the list? This is another one from my mother. This is a game that was literally recommended to me about 3 days ago by Marathon Gaming. Again, I'll put a link down, which is Killer Frequency. And he's got it for me. Sorry, she's got it for me on the Switch. From what I've been told, it's basically a game, semi-first person point and click style. But you are an 80s radio DJ. The police call network is down, so they've decided that you are the best person to do police dispatch, and you have to try and save everyone. So, to be honest, he had me a point and click, and so I'm going to be giving that one a go, and yeah, I'm going to be giving that a go. But you've got to try and save everyone from dying in the city. Next is one that I bought for myself, and that is South Park Snow Day. I love South Park. I saw my first review of this game yesterday, which was awful, but I'm going to give it a go purely because it's South Park, and I want to play South Park games because I'm a sad act who will play any South Park game, even if they're awful. I even played Chef's Love Shack, so we'll move on from there quite swiftly. Hannah loves buying stuff from car boot sales, and she does buy me quite a lot when it comes to Christmas and birthdays to give me more things to open, and also because they're things that I might enjoy. So I'm now the proud owner of the Spider-Man 2 limited edition DVD gift set. I've had a very quick look in there, and it's got all of the postcards, all of the books and everything in there. I'm not going to do that right now and go through it. I may do a short to do an unboxing of that. So that's another thing that's been added to my various collections. And from the same car boot sale, Hannah has managed to get me the original Indiana Jones trilogy on VHS, which will go very nicely with the setup in the garage at the moment. Another thing from my mum is, I left it plugged in rather than doing anything else because I'm stupid, the Numbskull's Sonic the Hedgehog wireless phone charger, which is lovely. The only issue I've got with it is, for some reason, it won't do anything with my phone unless it's upside down. I've done a quick Google, and I think that's a kind of common complaint if you have a Google Pixel. So I'm just going to be charging my phone upside down on it, really. And I've managed to misplace the other charger. Oh, no, there it is. I've got the Sega Mega Drive controller charger. So that's another nice one to have with everything else. My daughter got me a Squishmallow because Hannah has one as a pillow and recommends it highly, and apparently in my sleep I'm quite good at stealing it. So she chose me one called Elton because it's a monkey and I'm monkery on everything. So there's that. Only 2 more to go. I'm not going to drag this out. The other part of my present from my oldest son is the 3rd book of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. I've read the first 2, really loved them. From what my understanding is, book 3 is from when Eastman and Laird started to produce the comics alternately and separate from each other. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of quality and consistency. So looking forward to that. And finally, present from my mother-in-law, which is the Easy SMX M10 mobile gaming controller, which it's pretty obvious. It's like a backbone, but it's just not a backbone. So I can play Xbox games through Game Pass on my phone. I've had a very quick little go on it, and it's lovely. It's really, really lovely, and I may have already planned that I'm going to be sitting in the back of the car on the way to Birmingham playing on 5G. But that's just what I'm doing as a sacrifice. I'm taking care of the children in the back of the car while Hannah drives. My main present from Hannah is in the garage, so I'm going to stop recording here, and we're going to do a really jarring cut to me in the garage showing you what that is and how that has meant I've rearranged slightly in the garage. So see you shortly. Right, this is just an incredibly quick run through of what's changed in here since I last went in the garage. Obviously, all of Hannah's Wii U, GameCube and stuff like that still there, including the stuff that she's not put away from when she made her video last week. I bought a nice little rug from Temu that I've not yet smoothed out, but that's there. That space eventually is where I'm going to be putting all of my VHSs, I think. That was the first of the shelving units that I bought specifically for the gaming space. And my main birthday present was another one. So for this one, we've now got all of the PS2, all of the PS3, and all of the PSP stuff on there, including the stuff that Hannah bought last week that she still has not put away. But that is quite a bit wider than a Kallax unit. So what I've been able to do is rearrange the actual gaming space in here. And will I get a good angle? That's an alright angle, I suppose. So what we've got is, we've got the Sony Trinitron with a VHS. Plugged into it, we've got the Crystal Xbox, the Mega Drive, PS2, Master System, SNES, Dreamcast, N64, Saturn, and GameCube. I finally played on a Saturn. What I have done as well, although by the looks of it half of them have fallen down, I have put some lighting in there. Obviously it's daytime right now, so I will hopefully be able to insert a picture of what it looks like in the dark, although I've still not finished buying all the lighting for in here, and I need to get more lighting in general for in here because it's pretty dark until the light bulbs warm up. But that is the changes that have taken place in here, so I will go back to do the rest of whatever I'm going to talk about. Ciao. And we're back in the room. So, the final thing I'm going to do in this video, because I feel like it's gone on quite a while. As I've mentioned before, I listen to the Unofficial Control podcast and I'm in their Discord. One thing I do within their Discord is there is a channel called Challenge Accepted, where every month I set a different challenge for everyone to do. And just for bragging rights and to say you're the best gamer. So they're very easy challenges to do, just simple things that you drop in and out in 5 minutes. So like the first one I did was a high score challenge on the first level of the first Tony Hawk game. We've done fastest time round Baby Park in Mario Kart. And they have literally just been for bragging rights. This month's challenge is to do the first level of Sonic Spinball with the lowest score possible. And these challenges run for about a month, and I never win any of them. I was top of the leaderboard for this one after week 2, but there's a guy in there called Ginge who he will pick up a game he's never played before and then win the challenge for it. So my best score is like 6.9 million, I think, and then his was 6.8. But more people have been joining the Discord, and yesterday, I think it's Blonde Logic. I'll do a link to her YouTube in the comments, description, whatever it is. And with her first attempt, she came to where you'd be at like number 3 on the leaderboard, and then went straight into first position. And then all of a sudden, about an hour later, Ginge comes along and he's knocked a million off his score. So it's nice and competitive. It's nice and chatty. But this month, we've started to do an actual physical prize for it, which is one-of-a-kind sticker, which it's a huge sticker, but it's just something to say that you've won. So if you want to join in with the challenges that I make, please join their Discord. And you never know, you might win a sticker from me. Actually, this would be a good test to see whether people in there actually watch these videos all the way through. Because I normally give loads of clues in the run-up to a new challenge. It's about a week, 5 days, till the next challenge starts. The next challenge is going to be on Mario Party, and it's the minigame called, I think it's called Mecha Marathon, where you've got like a Clockwork Shy Guy, and just see who can get the longest distance on there. So I'll see if any of them point it out to me before I reveal it, but we're in the process of designing the sticker for that one. So let's see, I've done that, and that. So yeah, that's it. But with that Discord, it's just a load of like-minded gamers, geeks, nerds, chatting about gaming, but also chatting about anything and everything else. There's channels to do with movies, food, pets, things that you've picked up, things that you want to swap with people, what games you're playing, whether you want to meet up to play online, and even a channel about Downton Abbey, if that's the way that you are inclined. So I'll put a link to join. You don't have to join, but they are nice people, and I've met up with them a few times, and they're lovely. But I will stop advertising them now, and instead I will say cheerio for now, and hopefully I'll have some interesting stories for in 2 weeks' time. Although I am considering doing just a run through of what I've got for the Mega Drive and stuff like that over the next few weeks. So we'll see where the wind takes me. Other than that, enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.